Good morning, Ghana. It is 5:55 a.m., 8th day of March 2018. Today is International Women's Day. So a fantastic welcome to all women and to all listeners of Joy FM and JoyNews. Today is International Women's Day, and so we've kicked Daniel out of his seat, and today yours truly, Charlotte Osei, is in the chair, and I'll be hosting the Super Morning Show. Thank you, Joy FM. Thank you, Joy News. Great privilege, and I'm really excited. So, today we'll be discussing all the big issues in Ghana, and more particularly all the issues affecting women in Ghana. So, all women, we encourage you, please call in. Let's hear your voices today. We look forward to engaging with you. Let's start with our weather for today. So, today's weather is a bit like life. It's a mixture of sunny and cloudy periods. The slight chance of showers or thunder showers in the morning. In the afternoon, we have a mix of cloud and sun. Another chance of a thunderstorm. It's going to be windy at times, just like life. And in the evening, is a mix of cloudy and clear skies, with chance of a thunderstorm, windy at times, but I'm sure we will sail through this. And the weather ranges from 29 degrees Celsius to 32 degrees Celsius. So, it's going to be a lovely day. Sunny at times, cloudy at times, but we'll make it. I'll start by bringing you today's message of motivation, which is brought to you by the First National Bank. How can we help you? And the message today is from one of my favorite books, Obsessions, and it's on clarity of vision. So join me as we declare this together. Today I declare over my life and my household that I have clarity of vision. Goodness, grace, and mercy follow me. Peace is my portion. Favor finds me. I will not see shame, disgrace, depression, or disappointment. My walls stand strong. For my family and myself, I invoke the positive influence of divine destiny to propel me into my purpose. I decree that I shall live and not die. Nothing falls from my hands. For all I have lost in life, I decree sevenfold restoration. I know no loss. God keeps me. My flesh will not be broken, and my blood will not be spilled. I will not lack. I will live in abundance. God empowers me. I progress. It is well with me. In Jesus' name I believe and I say amen. Now, this was brought to you by First National Bank. At First National Bank, with our POS, your business has come too far to do business as usual. That is why you need an unusual bank to help you run your business. The First National Bank is
Okay, so there you have it, Madam Charlotte Osei, signing on to the Super Morning Show on radio. Of course, we're carrying that. So we're quickly just going to cross over and join in Roland.
Definitely.
Because they've started the newspaper review.
They started the newspaper review. So let's just join in. And we know that we have Nana Banamwa and a number of personalities also around. So please do take a watch.
And it has a picture of the Foreign Affairs Minister, Shelley Ayoko-Botwe. And their top story, CID probes top bank over deadly attacks and Royal Motors daylight robber in court. Okay. Also, the New Crusading Guide, Togo's political instability must end. And that's from the president as he receives progress report on the peace process there. And again, the BOG dismisses Uni Bank takeover of ADB. And president unveils $60 million EcoBank head office, and it's a beautiful edifice.
Yeah, it is.
Fantastic.
It is.
Beautiful edifice.
It is, yes.
Okay. Understand that in the night it lights up. In the
Yeah.
EcoBank colors blue. It's
Really?
That's nice.
fantastic.
Oh, nice. The skyline of Accra is changing.
Changing very quickly.
Right, the business finder reduced high lending rates to give impetus to private sector. That's from the president. BOG ADB denied takeover report. The Today newspaper says probe 45,000 CD AOB traffic lights. Yoko Schwartz charged hundreds protest.
What's that? AOB traffic lights? What's that?
No idea. I think it's somewhere probably defined in the paper. Yeah. But BOG unaware of Uni Bank takeover of ADB. The Ghanaian Times front page, tax amnesty for defaulters, pay end of September or face sanctions. President urges banks to reduce lending rates.
That would certainly help a lot of women.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Health alert, kidney failure cases increase. 2,729 on dialysis at Kolebu at present. And
That's
Ghanaians
depressing
involved
news.
in sale of humans in Libya.
Okay, we come to the Daily Heritage and their front page story. Mine workers mad at government over plans to sack 1,700 workers. And the union is to embark on a strike March 13th. And another story here. Police want this man to conduct an HIV test after robbing and sleeping with 3 ladies. And the man, Eko Agri, the suspect, his picture is on the front page of the Daily Heritage.
He's 23 years old.
No, he's not 23. He slept with 3 ladies.
Yeah, but I read the story briefly, yeah.
He's 23. Yes, he is 23 years old.
Quite a CV for a 23-year-old.
Yes.
So they want him to conduct an HIV test for sleeping with all those women.
Yeah.
More depressing news for women on International Women's
Can you
Day.
imagine? And the Daily Statement, President unveils the National Cathedral design. That was yesterday before
No, that was
yesterday.
on the 6th month, Tuesday.
Oh, yes.
Tuesday.
I was there. I was there for that one.
Arba doesn't want the month to end.
Beautiful
Arba, please, I
design.
need my salary.
Yes, by a very renowned architect.
Yeah.
Ghanaian
David
architect.
Ajayi.
Beautiful, yes.
Yeah.
And President urges banks to reduce lending rates again at the EcoBank commissioning of the new EcoBank.
But you know,
building.
every single year we hear someone calling on banks to reduce their lending rates, but it never happens.
Okay, we're still on the front pages now.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we can delve into the stories.
All right. The Chronicle, Ghana's economy in danger as mine workers threaten nationwide strike on March 27. And then the Showbiz, arrest Councillor Lutrot, Opabene KB. I don't know who that is.
What has he done now?
I wonder. And then it has a picture of Sewa Ame here, who's an anchor at GH1 TV. And she says, looks didn't get me my new role.
We hope so. We certainly believe so.
Yes, yes.
Women do have more than looks.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so those are the papers here.
All right.
Okay, so let's see which stories are important to us today. What do we want to talk about?
The running story now is the BOG ADB takeover story. So let's start with that. So the Daily Guide says the Bank of Ghana has debunked claims that Uni Bank Ghana Limited has taken over the running of the Agricultural Development Bank. News of the supposed takeover went viral Monday morning. Various news reports suggested a consortium of financial institutions that control majority shares in Agric Focus ADB had pledged its shares, proceeds, entitlements, and voting rights to Unibank, a wholly Ghanaian-owned bank. This was also given some kind of credence by the Chief Executive Officer for Unibank, Dr. Kwabena Dufour II, who spoke on some radio networks about the supposed deal. Well, the consortium was said to have been led by Bellstar Capital, a turnkey project finance and implementation institution, and also has Starmount Development Company Limited, EDC Investments Limited, and SIC FSL as members. This came as a surprise to many who heard the news, considering the operations of ADB and its effect on the country's agricultural sector. But that claim was short-lived after the governor of the central bank, Dr. Ernest Addison, issued a disclaimer denying such takeover. Speaking at the commissioning of the new EcoBank head office building in Accra, which was performed by President Akufo-Addo, Dr. Addison said, and I quote, "I should, at this point, respond to some," and it continues on page 10, "I should, at this point, respond to some news developing this morning, just to clarify that the Bank of Ghana has not given approval for the purported takeover or through the pledging of shares of the Agricultural Development Bank to Unibank," end quote. And Nanaba, do you have a similar story on that?
What is
Yeah, that's the same
Daily
thing
Graphic?
the Daily Graphic is carrying. They go further to talk about the suspension of ADB on the Ghana Stock Exchange and the shareholding, exactly what the shareholding of ADB is. But also, importantly, last night, Unibank issued a statement to clarify things. And it said that, in the statement, it said that it wished to state emphatically that they are not taking over ADB and wish to provide clarification for the benefit of the investing public and esteemed clients as follows. They go on to say that in November 2017, we reached an agreement with a Bellstar-led consortium to sell the entire holding in ADB and to subsequently invest the proceeds into Unibank. This led to an agreement between both parties with a set timeline for closure of the transaction, which would culminate in Unibank raising raising a minimum of 600 million Ghana cedis in capital, and with Belstar acquiring a stake in Uni Bank. Due to the delayed timeline of the equity investment, Unibank has taken the additional precaution of committing Belstar Capital to their obligation under the share subscription agreement by pledging all shares held by Belstar-led consortium in ADB to ensure that the transaction will be consummated, and the proceeds for the sale of shares paid directly to Unibank. It concludes that Unibank Ghana Limited, as leading indigenous bank, is still committed to the stability and development of our banking industry and will continue to play its part in propagating the necessary growth of the industry for the benefit of the good people of Ghana.
But it's good that they've clarified, because initially the impression that was being created was that they had actually taken over ADB. So it's good that that clarification has come.
Let's speaking as a former business lawyer, I think there's a lot more questions that need to be answered. I think the Uni Bank statement does clarify a lot. It's clearly a transaction between Belstar and Unibank, and I'm sure that both parties will have to enter into some kind of discussions and engagements with the regulator and resolve this. But saying that is International Women's Day, let's find something that has to do with the women.
Absolutely.
And discuss that.
I agree. Arba, maybe we can start with the story you picked up earlier.
Okay, yesterday. So yesterday there was an event to mark International Women's Day ahead of the day today.
Okay.
On what page is it captured?
And that is the New Crusading Guide, page 7 of the New Crusading Guide. It's in the corner, but at least there's a story.
There's a story.
Exactly. So, and the story is by Alex Boy, and it says, the annual International Women's Day celebration aimed at honoring women across the world over their vital roles in nation building was marked in Accra yesterday with a call on all to respect women. The ceremony, which was under the auspices of the Gender Ministry, attracted over hundreds of women groups across the length and breadth of the country. Speaking at the event, the Gender Minister, Madam Otiko Afisa Jaba, underscored the need for women to be appreciated due to their roles in nation building. She hinted that women play significant roles just like men, and therefore called for the need for their efforts to be appreciated. So she says that women contribute more than half of Ghana's population. We all know that, more than 51%, saying that it's women who develop homes as well as nurture the children. So she also sees the opportunity and advised all women to ensure they acquire education to help them, compete with men in the country.
Certainly very important, education.
Exactly.
But we need to look at access to education maybe when we get into our
and access to finance as well.
Yeah.
I think that's financial empowerment is quite important.
Is there any other story about women?
It was one. I'm trying to locate it. I still can't find it. It was
Okay, then let me read
somewhere.
this one about the police who are looking for this man to conduct the HIV test after sleeping with 3 women. So it's in the Daily Heritage, page 2, and it has a picture of Eko Agri, the suspect. And it says the Kaneshi Police Command has revealed its intention to go to court to seek an order which will compel one Eko Agri, a 23-year-old man, to conduct an HIV test to ascertain his status after allegedly having sexual intercourse with 3 of his 5 victims on the pretext of securing jobs for them at the Kotoka International Airport.
He could secure a job for them.
Exactly. I don't know in what capacity he can do that, but the police commander said that the CID is at the station currently preparing a docket for remand pending further investigations.
We certainly need more details on this story.
Exactly.
It's just not making sense to me.
So let me give some background. It says the 2 started a WhatsApp conversation to the point that the suspect promised to secure her a job at the airport. The suspect later lured her into a hotel and had sexual intercourse with her. And
how old were these victims, did they say?
Well, a 20-year-old woman, one is 20 and 22, another 22. So they're just around the same age.
Yeah. Clearly the consequences of youth unemployment.
Exactly.
But I think they should be checking him for more than HIV, though.
They should check his head as well.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Why should they check his head?
Something is not well somewhere.
What is wrong with him?
There's a wire
He took
touching.
advantage of women.
Yeah, but
It doesn't necessarily mean he's mad.
Then again, there's lots of people who are taking advantage of women, and it's not a mental issue.
Exactly.
Yeah, well,
we're having
that's
issues
true,
with
but
teachers. We're having, it's pretty
Unless
prevalent.
they are minors, then you can understand. But if they are not minors, these are 20-year-old women.
I really don't understand how going to bed with them was going to get them the jobs.
But you know, some people
And
are
he
vulnerable.
doesn't, just from where I'm sitting, he really doesn't look like someone who can get another
Look at
person a
him.
job.
That's why I kept asking
No, maybe it's the
him.
women. Maybe it's the women.
Maybe
we should wonder why the women.
I mean, this one,
Yeah.
I doubt he can even afford paracetamol when he has a headache.
But you know, some women are often desperate when you
Yeah,
are
when you're
unemployed,
looking for a
so
job, yeah.
they will do
Most of the
anything.
times, yeah.
So
It's
he took
sad.
advantage of their vulnerability.
Yeah, it's really sad. Very, very
Is there
sad.
any other big story we should be looking at?
Yes,
You've done
I
the
think
ADB
the
takeover.
CID probing a top bank over deadly attacks. That's in the Daily
But let's see
Guide.
the Chronicle. What's
The Chronicle, Ghana economy in danger
That's
as
a big
mine
one.
workers threaten nationwide strike on
the
March
mine workers one
27th.
keeps? I think it's run through several newspapers.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Yes.
on
What's
page
going on?
3 of the paper. It says that signals picked up by the Chronicle indicate that the ongoing conflict between the management of Goldfields Ghana Limited and the Ghana Mine Workers Union over the planned reduction of workers by the former could plunge Ghana's economy, which is on the path of recovery, into chaos if an amicable solution is not found. The GMW, that's the Mine Workers Union, which took the issue to court and lost, but filed an appeal against the decision, has planned to declare a full-blown nationwide strike action by Tuesday, March 27th.
How many workers are involved here? How many workers are in the union?
15,000.
No, 1,700.
Okay, that's the
are
membership of
jobs
the union.
Okay, the
As
jobs to be
laid off.
affected are 1,700.
Yeah.
That's significant.
That's a lot.
And when you think about the multiply effect, the number of
Yeah.
families whose lives will be affected by this, you know, even the social cost, that's huge.
Yes.
But can you entirely blame the company? I mean, if they're not making profit.
Well, there
how
are other
you
ways of
expected to-
managing it. I think they need to engage with them more. I mean, people should get to the point where even salary cuts are better than no salaries.
Low salaries at
So
all.
I think there are different ways of looking, but we need to be mindful of the social cost of unemployment. And
Yeah.
we're creating, these layoffs are going to create more unemployment.
Can we
So-
look at this cancer equipment at Kolebu Teaching Hospital?
Yeah, but we have to do that really
in
quickly.
The Confanoche Teaching Hospital.
Okay.
Yes, 1 minute. It says that, what's the story? It's on page 16 of the Daily Graphic, and it's quite a sad story. An equipment purchased by government for the treatment of cancer at the Confanoche Teaching Hospital is lying idle because some of its components are missing. The linear accelerator machine is one of the number of machines brought into the country by the Ministry of Health.
What does it do, though? What does the machine do?
So the machine is for the treatment of cancer. And apparently, sources at the hospital told the Daily Graphic that the Ministry of Health was advised against the purchase. Even the Atomic Agency advised the Health Ministry against its purchase, but they went ahead to buy it.
Unfortunately,
And now-
we've run out of time. We need to go online. But I mean, this is not the first of these stories.
this story?
No,
It
you
has-
can't. No,
it
you
has to
can't.
do with women
No, we
as
need to
well.
go. We need to go online now. We need to go online.
Okay, all right.
But the equipment thing, this is
Yeah.
clearly not a first, so we need to look
Yes.
at this on a more sustainable basis. So we have very interesting news coming from the internet. Today, the minority, or was it yesterday, minority declared silent protest in another standoff with the speaker. Okay, so they are really not, apparently for several reasons, the minority is not happy with the speaker, and they've said that they'll be present in the House, but they will not take part in any debate if the speaker decides to take away the right of their leader to speak on any matter. Then we have another story coming in from Libya. This may also affect women. It's been exposed that there's slavery in Libya, partly masterminded by some Ghanaians. Now, this is the month of our independence, so not good news that other Ghanaians are exploiting other Ghanaians. They've set up camps along the routes to the Libyan desert where they exploit and traffic their fellow Ghanaians. There's, to news that interests me a bit more. Not that the other ones don't matter to me, but this is right there in my field. Vote counting is underway in Sierra Leone after their general elections yesterday. And the National Electoral Commission chairperson in Sierra Leone has urged the citizens to patiently await official results that will take several days to tally. Does that sound familiar?
Exactly.
Familiar territory.
Do you miss 2016?
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah.
And then from the BBC, following the Florida shooting, there are moves to pass gun control laws. And the state's House of Reps has passed a bill raising the age to buy a gun from 18 to 21 and imposing a 3-day waiting period on all gun sales. Maybe it should be a 3-year waiting period. So this bill already passed by the Senate, now goes to the state governor, and on and on and on. So hopefully the United States of America is taking some steps to curb the very, very many incidents of gun violence where so many people have lost their lives.
So, we've had Pepper Them Ministries, Sugar Them Ministries,
Yes.
and now we have Pamper Them Ghana, and they're holding an event tomorrow to mark International Women's Day at the forecourt of Joy FM.
Why? I think Joy FM is becoming the platform for all the groups.
Yes.